And we're back.
Did you guys both do that so in sync?
I don't know.
He knew exactly what you were going to say.
So, I direct you towards Roll20 and the ship.
The One-armed Scissor.
And then high above, hanging from the branches of a tall shank, the Hanging Manor.
Are you
kind of annoyingly far up above. We'll get to that in a little bit.
So the ship is below the manor?
Yeah, so it's been... let's talk about this. So the scissor is, and we got the picture up there, seems to have been abandoned sort of in mid-use a little bit.
Okay.
The doors are kind of open. There's crates. There's books that look like they've been like just brought on and like in duffel bags and dropped onto the deck. There are cranes and rigging and stuff like that. Like you can see a crane on that picture there, like kind of in the middle. But this picture isn't perfect for this, but it's been like attached up to some branches up above. The manor is, and I'll switch back over to that so you can see it, 4 or 5. Well, I mean, I want you to imagine this as though this was your point of view. Okay, so it's 2 or 3 or 4 stories up to get to the bottom of it. It's hanging above you, which honestly terrifying, because it's, if it falls and it's multiple, it's kind of like, it's not a singular building in the same way that like your old high school isn't a singular building.
Yeah.
There's several buildings hanging up there together. They're all clearly had been built together. Like they have similar kind of roof and architectural styles and things like that. But they're, how do you even get up there is kind of...
Question number 1.
Maybe question number 4 or 5, because you've got other questions that are a little bit more immediate, because the ship is right nearby. Long, flat deck ship with a long jaw running the length of the hull and its sides bristling with grapples and cranes. This art was done by Narshiro from the Discord, from the Wildsea Discord. So thanks to Narshiro for doing this art and sharing it with everybody. It's great. It's not necessarily exactly accurate to what I'm describing, but you can see some lines hanging off the side here, down near the bottom. It's got open ports here where some more lines have been meant to feed out. There's a couple of grapples. There's, harpoons, things like that.
A worrying amount of crates not on the boat.
Alchemical and industrial equipment in various states of disrepair, stacks of books, some midway through being stored into crates, others in tilting stacks, scrolls, charts. An eerie silence on deck, creaking of metal and wood. It's attached via grapples and an anchor to the trunk of the now rootquake reveal tall shank that holds the Hanging Manor. It's possible there was a whole bunch of other stuff clinging to the tall shank that had been hiding the manor and the rootquake pulled it away. That seems the most likely thing.
Okay.
That's probably how it got exposed, because the tall shank didn't suddenly get, but also you can also see in pulling it away from the tall shank and exposing the building itself is maybe a little bit less stably attached to the tree than it once was. You can see more damage to the roof. Some of the chains appear to have been obviously over time they're going to kind of pull loose, but they seem like some of them have been sort of like, you can see, you know how when rocks have been like freshly dislodged or walls have been like, there's fresh rock, fresh stonework up there that's been exposed due to, like, some of the chain is old and rusty and covered in moss and leaves, and some of it is shiny and rusty and definitely is just seeing the light of day for the first time in like a couple dozen years. Okay. So it almost like it got partly pulled loose and then didn't fall. So that's kind of a situation there with that. You came in relatively quietly. Question for the group. Who's do you think is the most experienced wild sailor out of the 3 of you? That's an interesting, because there's kind of 2 answers right there. You're an actual ship.
I was the sail.
Yeah, you were an actual ship. You grew up on ships since you were born. So I would say that you can tell pretty, like, something is off here. You can't quite put your finger on what, but something definitely feels off.
Did going onto the ship help us figure out more about what happened?
Oh, for sure.
Well, it's going to be easier to get to the ship than it is going to be to get to the manor.
For sure. And honestly, it might be easier to get to the manor from the ship because, like I said, they do have some ropes and stuff strung up there, like attached to the boat and stuff. And it may be that you can just use the lines that they've already established as a way to get over to the to get up higher.
Yeah.
How about, okay, so Aside from it, what about you, Sean? What are you doing in this particular instance? Like looking at the ship or anything like that? You can
I'm just looking at the ship. Like, what did they do to you?
while like Kaylee is maneuvering the ship in to come alongside, do you want to cross over to the ship yourself with wave walk, or just kind of get over there in advance?
Yeah, I'll just sort of scramble along.
Okay, so build me a dice pool for that.
Okay, so what's your edges? Edges. I got Iron Instinct and Tides. Instinct?
Or tides.
Tides is, yeah.
Tides is
When in doubt, the answer is tides.
exploration, sure. Instinct, sense, intuition, reaction, force. You could say force because you're just leaping over there and using your basic physical prowess and stuff. That's fine too.
Scrambling over there.
How does it look? I mean, is it like sheer physicality type of thing, or is it more like muscle memory kind of, like the speed and movement of muscle memory?
Yeah, I'm just grabbing onto any random branch to propel myself towards.
Okay, so let's say instinct. What's your wave walk at?
2
Okay. Do you have any assets that might help with
aspects
that might help with getting over there?
Jaggery?
Probably not.
There's like sticks in the way or something.
Well, we are trying to be subtle, so probably not.
Are we?
Yes.
Let me ask you, when you talk about your edge, are you just getting over there as quick as you can, as like with as few moves as you can, or are you approaching cautiously? Few moves would be like, I'm gonna like jump from there to there and land on the deck. And basically Hulk bound over there. Moving quick would be, obviously like little quick moves, or
I'm just kind of on.
Or like sort of scouting ahead kind of thing would be something else.
I'm on like all fours crawling across the treetops.
To what purpose though? To move quickly, or to like to keep your alert, to keep on high alert?
High alert.
All right. In that case, I'm going to say it's just tied. All right, so let's give 3 dice, but I'm going to give you an extra one advantage for the rigs and ropes and rigs and stuff that you guys have on your own ship.
So
for launching, getting yourself. So 4.
So 4. Okay, 4. 3, 1, 1, 5.
Okay, so that's a 5, and then doubles for a twist. 5. So as you're approaching, you kind of get a different angle on the ship. Like you're kind of coming at it from side, so you can sort of see angles that you hadn't been able to see before. And you can see that there's something else behind the ship that you hadn't noticed before. I'm gonna use this as a broad approximation here, but loading up on roll 20, tied to lashed to one of the branches back behind the ship, there's like 3 of these things. Imagine the wheel being like more of a jagged blade kind of a deal instead of the wooden paddles. But there's like 3 of these things moored to a branch back behind. And as you get a little bit closer, you hear the stumping of boots coming up steps. And this, I have a twist possible for those doubles, but you see some guys coming up out of the back here, out of the bowels of the ship and stuff, with like a couple of chests and some crates and a couple of bags over their shoulder, like satchels and stuff over their shoulders. They're definitely not crew. And since it's a 5 and not a 6, I'm going to have Karshaw shout, "Marauders!"
5 and not a 6.
He got a 5 instead of a 6, so he doesn't like totally have
I just kind of swivel my neck back to the boat, like
as a twist. I would say that they noticed the ship and Karshaw, but they don't notice
Dervato.
as you're bringing the ship up closer. How's that sound for a twist? Does that work?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you're kind of like the ship's approaching from sort of the front prow. You're approaching from the side and towards the back. So what do you do?
Forward.
Okay, are you like going into combat with these guys, or?
I mean, they're probably bad. I mean, I'm just gonna.
They are dressed. They do. Carshaw's probably right. They're probably marauders. And also he knows all the crew on the ship, so he would call out that they were actual crew members.
They've definitely not got altruistic intentions.
Yeah. What to reconstruct this these guys are guys who are riding outriggers, like outriders.
Mm-hmm.
They're like little personal things. There's probably a larger ship or a larger base somewhere, but these guys were out on like a scouting run or something like that.
They might not have been the people who, they might not have been the people who, messed up the ship, but they're definitely on it now trying to take stuff.
Well, that's the thing. The ship's not, it doesn't look like it's been attacked or anything like that. It just looks like it's been abandoned.
Yeah.
In the middle of stuff. They've taken some of the crates, some of the other stuff that they apparently think are valuable, and they've strapped it onto this little like carry platform and stuff on the front. So they're like, basically it's like, holy crap, we found an abandoned ship. We're going to grab what we can right now because there's nobody here. And before anybody else shows up, we're going to get out of here, find our other guys, go get our big friends, and then come back and get the rest of it.
Yeah.
But also get some loot for ourselves while we're here.
Yeah, I trust spiders, man.
I trust spiders.
So what you doing?
No, spiders, man.
Yes, I heard what you said. I'm choosing to ignore it.
I mean, I'm boarding.
Okay. I
on
get
the deck.
Are you just I need to know what you're doing. What's your goal here? Are you attacking? Are you trying to scare them off? Are you trying to intimidate them so that they surrender and join your crew?
I'm just
Are you asking one of them out on a date? There's a range of possibilities here with a varying level of possible effectiveness.
I'm going
The date's not the
to
most likely.
intimidate them, not for them joining crew. I'm just hoping they'll go away without stealing more stuff.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So, what are you going with for your build me a pool for intimidation?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll buy that.
I'll buy it.
Hack is like spinning tails, right?
Spinning tails, but also like actual physical hacking. So
Beep bop boop beep bop hacking like.
you can certainly be intimidating, and
Oh, hunt?
hunt would work if you were like firing a warning shot from your cannon. I think would
Well,
probably.
your hack is better than your hunt.
No, they're about the same. Or
No.
is hack higher?
Yeah, hack is.
I would go with hack.
Okay, so that's 4 dice already.
Do you have anything intimidating on you?
Can I whir up the Jaggery?
Sure.
That's fine. Alright, that's 5 dice.
Are you a tree? You look like you're about to be in pieces.
1, 3, 5, 6,
Okay, tell me the highest one and tell me if there's doubles.
6, and then a 3 twist.
Ooh.
Okay. 6 is great. What do we like for a twist?
Is it a good twist?
Yeah.
I got to roll a 6 here.
You guys have range. You've got your spear. Do you have a ranged attack? Yeah. No.
We have the cannon on
Yeah, you got the vipers too.
Vipeth too.
Yeah, but it's not their boat, so.
No, I'm talking about like how can you cover them and that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I don't have a ranged attack.
I think
Can I throw my spear?
you can threaten to throw it. I mean, we're not trying to attack them necessarily.
Well, yes, but having a spear land right in front of you is kind of spooky.
Well, then they take it. They just be, oh hey, a spear from the sky. Yoink.
Hang on.
Thanks, God.
Spin down here a bit. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Okay. So with the 6 in intimidation, you pretty much, I mean, they're not going to be able to run off and get a thing. They won't. I'll say with the, so do you, okay, let's just ask this. Do you guys want to deal with them being still on the ship, or do you want them to like go away?
I want them to zip, but
Okay.
it's Sean's thing, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying collectively to the group, but do you want them to like, because I'm not there. With the 6, I'm not going to have them like immediately go and get reinforcements and come back.
Yeah, I think collectively, what would Petrichor do?
So here,
Oh,
they basically drop everything and like kind of drop it in front of you. They're not throwing it at you; they're throwing it to you. So they take all of their stuff and just say, "Whoa, we're gone!" And they just leap over the side and grab some of the cargo straps and stuff and leap for their things.
okay, one more thing.
Yeah.
The foghorn blow. Victorious foghorn blow. Like,
Sure.
Victorious foghorn.
So
Victorious yellow Gatorade. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Carl.
I will immediately give you guys some. So if you let them, if they get off and out of here with their things, we'll say that they were long range scouts, so they're not close to wherever the Jackalbone like main fleet of marauding ships and stuff is at. So they've got a long ways to go to get back. And they may not want to tell anybody that they were scared off.
By a wreck. Was it a beast or something? No, it was one guy with a chainsaw.
Really big sword, guys.
Guys, he didn't even have a mouth.
I'm gonna say we leave. I think they leave behind the stuff. So you guys immediately are gonna get. You can write this down on the ship. Cargo of stolen crates. It's right there. The sheet's right underneath Zoe's dice. So you can write down cargo. This is better than salvage because there's way more of it. Okay? Therefore, it's worth a lot more. You can trade cargo for a ton.
Of what?
Stolen crates. Okay. So these guys basically just
They
leave. They did. I mean, the big crab ship is looming overhead. Karshaw is like on the Viper's tooth and like trained down on the deck when they look around. You're right there in front of them with the thing. You're at the at the railing with the spear ready to go. Like they're like, nope, no.
We're very scary. We're very intimidating.
We're out. Okay. So just for a visual, basic marauder here. A jawbone jaggery,
Mine's better.
All right. So the ship is kind of yours to poke around in here. What we could do is do a quick montage and you guys can each kind of explore a portion of the ship if you want to do that to kind of
yeah, sure.
Cool. Let's take a look here. Karshaw immediately, like as soon as they're off the deck, he immediately drops the gun spins it off to the side and takes a jump and grabs one of the ropes and swings across, and he goes, I'm gonna see if I can find Techevez, and disappears down below decks.
Sorry, I'm gonna save the what?
Techevez, his sister. They used to be a single solid gray, and then they're separate. Okay, so options, real quick. Ready?
Yup.
Main deck, crew quarters, captain's cabin, cargo bay, engine room, and galley.
I was the captain's cabin.
Engine room and galley.
Captain's cabin.
Captain's cabin.
Crew quarters.
Crew quarters. Okay. Let's poke around.
Way
here.
to be in agreement.
Let's start with Zoe since she hasn't really had a lot of focus yet.
If not had a lot of focus means barely said anything.
Yeah.
/ done anything.
Yeah. Exactly.
That is what that means.
So, captain's cabin. Looking at the picture here. Accessible right through. Actually, still through this door that Karshaw went through. Was he in the back? Yeah, back here. Karshaw went through. There's a mirroring door, like this door here. Look at the thing. There's a door like that up here, kind of. You know what I mean? Like picture these stairs in the door that are in the back, also happening up front.
Yes.
You got me? Okay.
Yes.
So in the back, Karshaw went in up here. You're going in back here into the captain's quarters, Zoe, right? Lavish room. Captain's bed, a sink, cupboards full of charts and ship's controls. All kinds of stuff back in here. If you want, let me see, framed pictures of previous captains and like high-ranking crew. There's like snapographs up on they call them snapographs. There's snapographs up on the wall, captain's table, a ship's wheel that isn't the actual active ship's wheel. It's just mounted on the wall. You actually see a snapograph that's got a picture of that guy that runs the docks back on Three Masts. He's like smiling and kind of posing with you would assume the captain, since they have a cooler hat.
We love good hats.
That kind of stuff. There's tons of stuff in here. There's charts, there's portraits, there's
I love it here.
knowledge, charts. You want to roll a study or a scavenge or something to kind of poke around in here and see what you can find?
I want to look at the charts.
Do you want to roll a study for that? To see what you're looking at?
Sure.
All right. So build me a pool for that.
We're looking at them charts.
Looking at them charts.
Where were they going? What was the plan? What's the plan, man?
What's a good edge?
I'm deciding. It's either sharps or tides.
Which one do you prefer? Sharps is like being Sherlock, and tides is being like kind of like I'm kind of figuring this out on vibes, man.
You're probably on sharps then, so.
Sharps is logic, wit, planning, and tides is exploration, learning, and lore.
So I repeat, you're probably on sharps.
Go with
That
sharps.
makes more sense.
What's it? Then do tides. Do you have any gear that helps you with like sort of figuring out charts and that sort of stuff?
Gear, would that be under resources?
No, that's so your aspects.
Aspects on the other side of the sheet. Do you have anything that like is good for figuring out?
Whoa.
Cartographica might.
Cartographica, absolutely.
Cartographica is like making.
Okay, so let's add another dice for that then. So you're rolling 4.
Rock and roll, buckaroo.
5, 5, 3, 3. Double
Doubles.
Okay.
Double doubles.
Twist squared.
Yeah.
Here comes trouble. Make it double.
Prepare for trouble and make it double.
Pokemon references.
We're just making all the references today.
Look at this guy.
All right. So I'm gonna give you. So right off the bat, I'll give you a chart here.
Yay!
Well, they're over here. Here you go. There's a pencil.
Thank you.
Practice that
Find-
handwriting that you've been working on.
What are you looking for? Like a chart to figure out like where they've been, or like a new location, or something like what are you specifically looking for?
I'm gonna help him along with
You want to know?
Petrichor's quest thingamabobber. I want to know where they were headed. Where? I mean, I obviously know where they were headed.
You say quest. What quest? You mean her drive?
Quest.
From the person.
Oh.
Get back the.
Okay.
And so I want to know what happened, where it was headed, blah blah blah.
Okay. Open on the table next to the window.
How many charts do I have again? I have. I can't tell if I have 3 or 2.
Well, you use the painted wing scale.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. No, she didn't.
Ah.
Can I see?
Painted wing scale, annotated map, and sketch for tall street.
Then you have
You
three.
have 3.
I mean,
You have 3.
You have 3.
You got the sketch of the tall snake where you guys were traveling. With me?
yes.
Okay. So you have faded. Okay. Can you put faded in like square brackets? It's like parentheses, but make them boxy. No, don't erase anything. Don't erase anything. Put them in. Put brackets on either side of it.
The word ain't good. The word isn't good anyways.
Okay. Did you put brackets around it?
Yes.
Okay. Faded. Captain's log.
Ooh.
So the book was open on the desk next to the window, but it's been in the light now for weeks. And the window was slightly open, so it's gotten some rain on it, it's gotten some sun on it, and a lot of the notes on the top, on the most recent pages and stuff are kind of faded and not impossible to read, but very difficult to read. You're gonna need some time with it and possibly some inks and extra time, but it is a chart. It does count as a chart, but it has a negative tag on it because you didn't get a 6.
I got a 5. I got double twist, Dad.
Uh-huh.
How did I get something that?
You only get 1 twist. Would you like to know what the twist is?
No, well,
Sure, you don't sound like you want it. Do you want to hear about the twist? What's the twist?
please.
Whisper. We love those.
I eat them up.
You put it here. It's fine. Got a whisper you want to write down? We do this for the words.
We do this for the words.
That's it. That's it.
Actually, I'm going to change that. We do this for the stories.
Stories doesn't have anything that rhymes with it, though.
Yes, it does.
Corey.
Stop it. You're making me all excited.
All right. So you're poking around in here, maybe looking at if you want to try to figure out what's going on with the log and use that chart to find some information out, just let me know. Sean, where were you going? Engine room in the galley?
Engine room.
Yeah, the ship itself is the flashes and imagery, lots of on shelves, books being rebound or repaired. Some of them are in tilting stacks, scrolls, charts, book pages framed up or nailed to the walls, inky handprints and smudges on almost every surface. Shelves of old tomes and pressure sealed containers. Some of them are catalogs, some of them are not.
The engine room?
Smells like metal and old wood, ink, book binding glue, machine oil down as you get closer to the engine room, wood pulp, because again, it's driving a long jaw, so you've got wood pulp just everywhere. the long jaw is the big, long, full keel, long saw blade. So as you get
It's
down
just a
there,
regular old saw blade.
yeah, it goes the whole length of the ship. So there's no way that you're down in the engine room, you don't smell like creserin and wood pulp and stuff, because you're down in the area where there's nothing, where that thing is constantly chewing up trees. That smell of paper and books, that kind of thing.
So the long jaw was what I was.
As you're approaching the galley, smells of stale food. Connected rooms, the engine room and the galley. The stoves are working off the heat generated by the chemical engine.
That would do. Oh, okay. So it's a chemical engine.
It's a chemical engine.
You put 2 and 2 together and it explodes.
No,
That's like
it's more controlled than that. But yeah, so chemical engine, and then the stoves work off the heat generated by that. There's, rations down here, cookware, barrels of the chemical fuel that they use to mix things together with, chemical stoves, a hatch in the floor down to the chemical engine, long tables, wooden benches crowding the galley, sitting eerily empty. Hatch in the floor leads down to the engine room, similarly quiet. The engine probably needs a little TLC.
what's TLC?
10 to 11 care. But it could still run the ship. I mean, the ship's not working. I mean, you want to salvage through here and see if you can find anything cool to take with you?
Sure. Let's start on the engine room where the engine is.
Why don't we go with instinct and salvage? Do you have salvage?
Yep, 2.
Instinct and salvage, and instinct and salvage is fine. You're rolling 3. Is salvage 2 or?
Salvage is 2.
Scavenge. Sorry, not salvage. Scavenge. So yeah, you're rolling 3 dice. That doesn't look good.
1, 1, 3. I'm doing great.
That's fine. There's
Okay, we have to fail a roll eventually.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ink. Like I mentioned, the handprints and like imprints and stuff like that. There's a lot down here. There's a thing. You remember how the teepee in the front of front of Yellowstone had like all the handprints on it, but kind of going up the side of the wall.
Yeah.
Did you read my mind? I was literally just thinking about that. He's a mind reader.
So think of that. Think of that, but also think of like the cave walls in Argentina. They found these, incidentally, like these stencil handprints and wall paintings dating back like 10,000 years. People have always done this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this has always been a thing. So down here near the bottom, there's a lot of these. Yeah. Like kind of disturbingly so. And I'm just gonna, so the walls down here, especially in the engine room, just covered with these like inky handprints and that sort of thing. So let me just stop. Sean. Mm-hmm. CQ. Okay.
Did you say CQ?
Yeah, we're gonna look at, so you're down in the engine room and kind of like shine maybe one of the firefly lamps to kind of look around from the boat. Kind of looking around and looking at these handprints, and you feel something move behind you.
And there's a creepy doll that always follows you.
No. Like imagine you got the big heavy sleeping bag, right? Mm-hmm. And hanging off the edge of the bed in the camper, right? Mm-hmm. And it's very, very wet. And you're just sitting there, at the table or whatever. And then you hear it, like, whatever reason, it catches like a little bit of a tipping point, and you hear it slide off the bed and onto the floor. I want you to imagine like that kind of a sound, right? With the wet, okay? You don't like that? All right.
Take a picture of you.
And as you're turning towards this sound, something slaps you. I don't think of a better word for it. Something slaps you in the middle of the chest, and your feet leave the floor.
Oh my goodness.
Slaps you in the middle of the chest and knocks you flat back against the wall with the handprints all over it.
Sit down. I gone from this place.
I want you to mark. You're going to take 2 blunt damage. Are you immune to blunt? Are you resistant to blunt?
I am immune to blunt, yes.
Okay, so you smack back against the wall, just and your whole front is covered in ink.
Ew.
Oh,
like
squid.
Squid.
I heard the reference.
And you see something very big, like as big as you, go up towards the porthole, one of the portholes that's like up high on the wall. and it's way, like the porthole's like this big. This thing coming towards the porthole is your size.
That is a high bar.
Okay, it's your size. The porthole is this big. It hits that porthole. The porthole is popped open from the pressure, and it goes
Ew.
and goes through the porthole.
Those
It
noises
fits.
are quite
Something as big as you fits through the porthole and out. There's a.
Bendy!
Squid-de-puss.
Are any of you? Where did you say you were going to be checking things out?
The cruise quarters.
Nobody on the deck then.
Nope.
Okay.
Do you
That impact on the ship, though, you know how like whenever when you're trying to fall asleep in the camper and like anybody shifts around and the whole bloody camper moves.
Yeah.
Imagine that times 10.
Mm-hmm.
So every place where you guys are, you guys suddenly find the need to like find your balance and grab something because the whole boat shifts and you're like, you know, their mooring may not be entirely stable. Also, what the hell was that? Because you heard a big impact.
Is it kind of the sensation of when you're about to fall asleep and you get that feeling that you're falling?
Yes, except you're in a boat inside of a thing that might fall into the waves.
And you're very much awake.
But it's a sudden thing of the movement that you really weren't expecting to have happen someplace else in the thing. So this area has been like, so the whole engine room is like ink coated and like got goop on it and stuff, much like you. Now, nothing really salvageable in here, and also this thing that's like, if you race, you might be able to see where it went when it left the ship. Hard to say. And you get out into the light, you can see that you just like this big old ink. You look like you've been playing Splatoon and losing against somebody who gets to use black ink.
Right. Okay.
Kaylee,
Hey,
how are you doing? You said crew quarters?
I am in the crew quarters.
All right.
For now.
Or a tiny child.
A tight bunk-filled space with firefly lanterns on the walls. Basically where they slept and relaxed.
I'm looking for any kind of sign as to like where they might have gone, if they just like took off, or if there was any kind of like struggle down here. And
Have you got study?
yes.
Why don't you give me tides and study? Do you have anything that's good for like understanding people in your aspects that would imply that you're good at understanding
I mean,
people?
I'm hyper adaptive, but that's a language thing.
It's a language thing. Yeah, I'll give you that. What's your study at?
Uno.
So roll 3.
I have so many cute little dice over here.
Oh, buttons.
I'm gonna roll my blue gang.
Your blue gang.
3-3-2.
Yeah.
Suffering. Pain, even?
Same.
Not relatable.
Yes. Dad, make that change. Mods. Steal our bones.
All right. This place is kind of a wreck. Again, ink hands on the walls everywhere. Beyond like incidental, like it looks like somebody purposely did this. Like there's a crew member's diary that's like turned over and laid flat, you know, kind of a thing, but it's got ink all over it. The pages are unreadable, basically. Yeah. You do find like a drink that's like, you know, the wall-mounted cup holder. Like they do a lot of that in ships so that stuff doesn't spill. And there's like a mug of ale or like a drinking mug in one of those holders that's got some liquid in it. So they didn't finish it. So maybe they were interrupted. Maybe they have ADHD.
Drink it.
Who knows?
Drink
it could be either one of those things.
Drink it.
Yeah, drink it. But you're not really, again, that feeling that you had before that like something is wrong and you cannot put your finger on it. What are your aspects that you have? Read me your aspects.
My aspects, yes. I have my ragged long coat, grizzled ratter, which is my foxy boy.
Yeah.
Fleet family scarf, short spear, bait bandolier, and hyper adaptive.
How many? I would like you to mark. No, I'm doing that wrong. Give me a second.
He's about to damage me, folks.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna have you mark a mire. Which one of your
You
mires?
literally just said you would not damage her.
Well, damage would be damaging one of your aspects.
I'm giving you mental damage.
Emotional damage.
Please don't do that.
Probably outsiders are difficult to trust. That seems apt.
I will give you this. You can either mark a mire of outsiders are difficult to trust, or put a mark in that box, or you can mark one box on hyperadaptive on the other side.
I'll do my mire.
So basically, this is just a cue to like be playing that up. You're feeling a little bit more paranoid about people. Whatever was going on here is weird to you.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit more paranoid to people. If you have a situation where trusting people is going to be necessary for the move to succeed, you're going to cut your best dice on the roll. Okay.
Indeed.
Cool. Until you can until you can recover that mire.
Not cool. You suck, but also cool.
Cool. Fine. Okay. So coming back out to the main deck, stacks of looted books. Half-loaded cranes, Karshaw, like, there's nobody here. He's come back out. There's nobody here. I haven't found any bodies, which is good, but I can't find any sign of anyone, which is, well, not to be an idiot, but obviously bad. But it was more. They did this on purpose. They were obviously working. They have to be up there.
You're probably right.
So we're going up there, yes?
Yeah, I think we need to go up there.
I feel like I should get like a burlap sack just to pull over my head when I'm playing him. You just remember that he's like spiders in a sack. Excellent. How are we getting up there?
That is a really, really great question. I think we need to bring everybody up to the deck and talk about what our options are.
Yeah. I'm going to say everybody's back up there. So Charybdis gets up there and he's just got this big old inky blotch on his chest, like that's still wet and shining.
What happened to you? Did you get slapped by a squid? Yes? Maybe?
Shrug.
Just this.
You don't have to like pantomime. You have,
I prefer not yapping.
You have old hand though.
I know.
What do you tell them?
I got slapped by something very inky that probably did the handprints.
If it did the handprints, that would be
Right.
weird because they're very much people handprints.
Yeah. It escaped through a porthole
Don't like this place.
very, very easily, which is worrying, I think.
Because it was big.
Yes, it was me-sized.
It was very big, but it escaped through a porthole.
You sized. Oh wow, that's incredibly impressive, actually.
I know, it's worrying.
Yeah. Did you see it? Do you know where it went?
Out?
Great. So the crew is missing. There's a weird thing on the ship.
A lot of squelching.
And I think we have to go up there. And she points at the manor. And I don't know how. Is there like a rigging somewhere set up on the ship where like they attach?
They've got cargo rigs and stuff like that. Why don't you give me wave walk?
No.
Can I just wait hold on real quick before you do that stuff? I just come running out of the thing. I have a chart. I have another chart.
Technically, what you have is the
What
captain.
happened to you?
Well,
Can I touch it?
Can I touch it?
defeated groans.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, he smells like a library with a leaking roof right now.
Ugh.
Ooh, a library.
Delicious.
Why do you like that smell?
It's a good smell.
Defeated groan.
Sorry, I'm looking for a thing here real quick.
No, I did not drink the ale. Why would I do that?
I guess you definitely want to be drunk climbing up a massive tree.
They made an entire new post in here. It's a new post to play. That's kind of cool.
Word bearer.
No, speleographer. You caught the fever of the written word, and its only treatment is spreading it to others.
So you're a professional yapper.
Aspects, taming the word, inspiration, rewrite the ending. Whenever a crewmate would mark the final box on one of their tracks, you may consume a whisper. If you do so, that box remains unmarked, and you hijack focus and move it to you.
So you're an attention-seeking author with evil powers.
Excellent powers.
Excellent. Whatever. Evil, excellent, same difference.
Type hammer ordinator. Type hammer ordinator. So type hammer, as in a little hammer that has type on it, ordinator. A clunky machine used for printing script on paper. It's a typewriter.
Yeah.
That jams just as often as it works. Can be marked to remove a negative tag from a chart. Deals close quarters blunt damage. Because you can hit somebody with the typewriter.
I just want to wait, hold on. When you said hammer thing, my brain went, So it's a typewriter on the top. You type in the thing, and then you just beat. And then
Anyway.
has permanent typewriter tattoos.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, you're poking at the ink, also that kind of stuff. So the grappling thing has been set up. At least a couple of the grappling cables have been set up to be attached to. Somehow they managed to attach them to higher branches on the tall shank. You can use vault to start getting up the tree. Probably with some bonuses for the fact that they've got the rope set up already. You can climb the bark. So that, or you really vault or wave walk. Either one of those would probably give you some ways of getting up there. You could just rig up something. Between you guys have rigging built into your ship as like a particularly bonus thing.
Yeah.
And between that and what's already set up on the ship, you can probably rig up something that will get you up closer to the thing and only really require. Here's what I'll do. All of you can roll. Basically, everybody rolls, and whoever rolled worst, we'll have to deal with some kind of consequences there in terms of that might be something that it might be a consequence to the ship, and it might be a consequence to like some of your gear.
I think it's one dice.
No, it's for everybody. Zoe, technically, you don't really have to roll because you need to get up high, and between your wind flute and your wings, you can just whistle yourself up to the manor.
So me and Sean need to make a pool for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grace, instinct, or tides.
Grace. If you're gonna do vault.
Vault.
And I'll give you an extra dice for the advantage of the ropes and rigging and stuff like that on the ships. So what's that? 3? What? How many?
3.
3.
1, 4, 5.
John, why don't you give me what do you got?
Iron instinct tides.
Instinct, I think, probably.
Wave walk 2.
And you can also take a dice for the advantage of the ship.
So that's 3, 4.
4.
Jaggery?
No.
No, don't let him have that.
It is meant to like mess with a ship. To mess with plants. He's climbing up the side of he's basically using it like ice picks for climbing up.
Yeah, that is my intent.
I have qualms.
Shame.
I mean, I'll give it to you, but if you're not going to surprise anything coming up there because you're basically chopping into the
How can
trees.
you use a chainsword as an ice pick?
Well, he's just using the big old. It's the big old teeth on it. He's basically to give himself bite on the side.
But it's not the way a chainsaw.
Shay, it's the way a sword works.
I petition that this is not reasonable. This is not reasonable.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. It's a big old tooth blade.
But it's a chainsaw blade.
I'm
So if you put
flying.
it into the tree, it's just gonna. Bleh.
I'm not saying he's gonna run.
Honestly, it should be a hindrance. You should be being hindered by this sword.
Why are you so against me going up a thing?
I'm flying up, and I see him,
Here's
and
why
I'm
I'm
like,
gonna lean into it. He's supposed to be somebody who leaps into the plant life and stuff like that and deals with it. It's okay.
Then maybe you should be better at it. I don't know.
All right, fine. All right, Sean, go.
I'm flying up, and I just see him going, and I'm like, that's cheating.
6, 1, 5, 2, and 2. So that's 6 with a twist.
I am rageful. Not that I want you to fail. I don't.
It
But
seems
I'm-
like it seems like
Say that again. How are you rolling that many? Oh, because I gave you an extra one.
yeah, because you
See?
Okay.
no, it was from the shipwrecking.
Tisk.
I'll give you this twist. You see black, slimy ink marks on some of the branches and leaves as you're ascending.
I see.
In several places.
Annoyed groaning.
But yeah, as you're traveling up there, you're definitely seeing more marks of the sort of the ink slime
It's a
trail.
pod of squids.
No, it's more of one trail. It's not like it's everywhere. There's ink trail going up there. As you're approaching and climbing up the rigging and stuff, you realize once you got up to where so this is for you realize as you get up to the grapple line, where the grapple line was attached to, that around the tall shank, there's another line strung, and there's actually a series of lines that you can use to get up. The last line is very. Have you ever done the thing at Renaissance Festival with the Jacob's Ladder?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one is very annoying to climb. It's not impossible because it isn't anything that you've thrown off. It's still vertical. But it's really like you're basically having to go up each rung of like essentially a rope ladder that they strung. Like they ran it up and attached it. But you're basically having to put one arm over and hook your elbow in over the rung to keep from being thrown free every time. Because it's attached to the manor and the manor is moving a lot. It probably isn't super noticeable from down below where you're at, but when you're attached to something that's stable and also attached to the manor, that ladder bucks. So you're really having to throw yourself around to get up to this thing. And I'm marking a hidden track. Things will happen if the track gets full up. You don't want that track to get full up.
I see.
But yeah, this manor may not be entirely stable.
Cool.
In fact, that's the name of the track. This manor may not be entirely stable.
Dungeon AI.
Understood.
Dungeon AI looking.
New achievement.
This man may not be entirely stable.
This asteroid may not be entirely stable.
What are you going to do?
So it's really important. So as you guys are approaching, and Zoe, as you're whistling yourself up higher, you're really getting a sense of the size of this thing. Like, this is an entire complex of buildings hanging at different angles. Some of them are attached by, essentially, there's been a couple of walkways strung, older ones. In some cases, it's like the only thing still remaining attaching two parts of a building is literally the hallway. Mm-hmm. Or it's like there's still kind of chunks of building that are kind of still attached. In some places, you kind of figure the only way across from one to the next is the chains because the chains are big. Each link of some of these chains, the links are as big as Charybdis. So you can walk across on them, climb across on them. Given how unstable the nature of the building and the chains are, you guys might want to stick together as you're inside once you're inside here.
So all the weight is in one place.
If we fall together. Except for, I know this is not your name, but all I can think is Serindalgore.
Who are you talking about?
Zoe.
Saturniday.
Serindalgore.
Serindalgore.
She was talking to that.
All right, let's see where you guys crawl up into. Each one of you roll a 6-sided dice, please. Just one. Zoe?
Oh.
Zoe.
What?
Did you roll?
I couldn't see.
Okay, who rolled first?
6.
John rolled a 6?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you roll?
1.
Okay.
The duality of man. 6. What?
6, 1, and what was yours, Zoe? A
6 again?
Hold on.
What is this bullshit?
Is this sign language?
6. No, don't hold it. There you go.
Okay, so you guys pull yourselves up. You two pull yourself up onto a balcony, like an balcony with what would have been glass, like French doors, kind of like opening into the space. So you guys pull yourself up onto that, him first, and then he helps you up the rest of the way. And then the moth kind of lightly lands on here. So you're on this balcony and through the doorway. So the balcony itself kind of overlooks inside. It's there had to have been stairs coming up to this at some point in time, but where you are right now is a balcony, double things, and then it looks over a room, but you're not at ground level. You're up high, like a window height. Or like a high window. There had to have been a way down from here because it looks too much like somebody's. So there had to have been a way down. There is not currently a way down. So a balcony overlooking a room full of glass bookcases below. There are books on these glass bookcases, but also dotted with empty shelves and looted cupboards and things like that. So somebody's been through here. Currently, there is a pack of sleeping pinwolves in the room. Sleeping. You're familiar with pinwolves? You know what they look like?
They're scary.
No.
Let's keep that permanent, shall we?
No, I don't know what they look like.
Okay, no. I'll fix this. What?
Yes.
Known for their pin-like limbs.
Yeah, they climb by basically sticking into the trees as they climb around and stuff.
And their segmented jaw. And their pointed tongue.
Dang it.
Corkscrew tongue is actually one of the aspects that they have on them.
And their stick on them.
One of the most dangerous predators of the Wildsea, right? You know.
Yeah, and moving packs.
I mean, do I have time to go get a snack?
We don't need
Elevator music.
Are we
pinwolves.
close to being done, or should I go get a snack?
They tend to move in like bursts of uncanny movement, long twitching tongues, but they move like they're kind of like you know how birds move their heads around. So
Yeah, it's those terrifying deer with that one disease that makes them like across the ground. Have you seen that?
no,
Those terrifying.
but they twitch more like birds. They have a extra gland in their skull called the staccato amygdala.
That just makes them move weird.
Rabies? Is that
Not rabies. If I was talking about rabies, I would have said rabies.
Yeah. Vicious packs of pack hunters with stiletto limbs. Pinwolves are seemingly omnipresent threat across the various reaches and territories of the Wildsea. Their coloring tends to match their surroundings, most often a combination of charcoal and earthy browns to blend in with the wood of the ironwoods, though paler and stranger specimens have been reported. Their habits and cunning combined with their natural speed and vicious nature make them a serious threat to even experienced sailors. Despite this, they can theoretically be trained, usually at great personal costs.
If not friend.
Aspects include pin limbs that can allow them to climb any surface their limbs can punch into, with the strongest able to puncture even metal. Medium to heavy CQ spike damage.
Light medium.
And charges that can, a physical charge that can deal medium blunt damage. Staccato
medium.
movement. What?
Light to medium. CQ.
Yeah. Pinwolves move in swift, unpredictable bursts, making them difficult to evade. Add cut to any actions taken to dodge or otherwise escape a pinwolf when it's got full freedom of movement. And corkscrew tongue. A pinwolf's tongue is also incredibly mobile and well-muscled, usually used to wrap around smaller prey and draw it close to the creature's mandible-like lower jaw. These tongues are also lined with delicate scent receptors used to taste the air and allow the beast to accurately track prey that they can't see.
Aw, how cute!
Yeah, they're adorable.
Yeah. Listen, there's a reason they can be trained.
How cute.
If not friend, why friendship?
Shaped.
All right.
Let's look at those little guys.
Having achieved the
New achievement. Hanging
Manor, you've managed to find an ancient repository of pre-verdant literature that may or may not be infested with creatures that want to destroy you.
Boring, but also death. Still kind of not boring.
Literature is boring. Killing you is exciting. So call this the duality of man. So call this a win-lose for me. Okay, so we will figure out what's going on. I'm gonna say Karshad just followed you.
Because he's a dang spider and he has them.
I kind of wanted just to like grab Karchar by one of his limbs and just close your eyes. Whee!
He's probably not light enough for you to just carry like that. And you don't want him swarming over you. Okay. So we will stop there and we will begin next time in the Hanging Manor. On the edge of the Hanging Manor.
Sweet.
Trying to move quickly. You're not surrounded. You're on a balcony overlooking a room with pinwolves. Sleeping pinwolves. If you can move quietly, they won't become an instantaneous problem. If you don't move quietly,
They will.
they will automatically become an instantaneous problem. But you might also
Fly.
no.
No.
Good. I'm flying away if any of them come near me.
Wow. I just asked if the thing without wings can fly.
I will remind you that you are actually good at hand-to-hand combat.
Dang.
Dang it, I am. Shoot.
Oh wait, I'm good against packs.
You can just step into the whole chamber and blast them with a cannon.
But that might advance this manor may not be entirely stable.
Might? I think it would be incorrect
It
for you
would
to...
definitely do that.
Yeah.
That is a definite yes.
The track of this manor might not be entirely stable, might not react well to cannon fire. Yes, accurate.
Hey, I'm extremely unstable and I love cannon fire.
I mean, you are the only one with ever-present anxiety.
This is true.
Currently. It
No.
It is ever present and crippling.